Welcome, my name is H&M. In this last part of the tutorial, you're going to learn about basic coloring techniques in Photoshop using multiply and screen mode. Doodle doodle doo. Finally, we reached the stage where we can start the creative process. In a minute or so, we are going to draw, actually, using a graphic tablet, our custom brushes and our pressure-sensitive pen. In order to be prepared, please download the file firefox-512-nowshadow.png from the course default files folder on our LMS, our learning management system, and then open the file in Photoshop. Good. I'm not going to draw on this template layer itself. I'm going to rename this to template, and then I'm going to lock this layer so that I will not be able to draw upon it. I would like to collect all my colored artwork in one special layer, so I'm going to insert a new layer and I'm going to rename this to artwork. So, and this is actually here where you can start drawing more or less right away. Firstly, I'm going to work with this custom brush we created in the previous tutorial, my HB pencil. It's now stored in my presets here. So once I've selected the brush, I can switch over to the tool presets. It's set to current tool only, so it will only show all the brushes I prepared. And then I look for the pencil I created. Here it is. So the pencil HB tutorial, our first custom-made brush. And on the artwork layer, I'm going to use this pencil tool roughly to outline the most important shapes of the well-known Firefox logo. To get a bit more graphic quality already in the strokes, I'm taking my diamond detailer tool here. 21 pixels is probably too much, so 14 pixels, 15 pixels would be fine. And then I'm going to outline some of the strokes a bit more. Because the global light is falling in from the upper right of the picture, we have some shadows down here to the left. On the LMS you will also find a written tutorial about light and shadow and how to apply them properly if you haven't have any experience with this. So use a bit of your time to read through it. So then we have a shadow area here and also here and probably here. Right. Still, the two layers merge together visually. If I want to control what I actually have drawn so far, I can of course set my template layer to be invisible, but then the transparent background is shimmering through. So what I'm going to do is that I'm creating another layer in between those both layers, and I will use this as a kind of control layer, kind of background layer for my artwork. So I'm going to rename this to background. And then I'm going to fill the background with white. I have already told you the shortcut for filling any selection or layer with the foreground color. This would be Alt backspace, and to fill it with the background color, currently my background color is white, I can press Control backspace on my Windows keyboard. Here we are, and now we have better control about what we have drawn already. I'm also going to lock down the background layer so that I'm not getting into the danger to draw upon it. The diamond detailer, used on the artwork layer, of course, can now enhance some of the shadowy areas here, right? If I'm not using the pressure sensitivity of my graphic tablet and the pen, of course, I can carefully enhance the shadowy areas I already defined. Now, I have already reached a stage now where I would like to save my results so far. I'm pressing Ctrl S to save this as a PSD in my default folder. So I'm going to rename this to Firefox Doodle Screencast, because this file was created especially for this purpose here. And then I'm pressing save. Now that I saved it as a Photoshop file, I can be sure that I at least have preserved this state. I will use one more Photoshop feature to preserve the current state of the artwork, and that is to take a so-called snapshot. The snapshot feature is hidden right here under this icon, so if I just press it, and if I scroll up in my history, then I can see the two states, the original opening state, and this returns also the whole file, including history, layers, whatever you added to your artwork so far, to this precise state. And I can return to my snapshot here. I cannot recommend this feature of Photoshop enough to you. Whenever you reach a stage where you have kind of concluded an important illustration task, or when you are about to change something very important in your file, please make a snapshot. It's easier, way easier to return to certain defined states than just kind of searching your history. And in addition to this, you have also the possibility with a right click on a snapshot to create a new document directly from it, right? A fully equipped Photoshop PSD file from a certain state, right? And just to be sure that I can return to this very stage, or to make a screenshot later on from this file, I'm saving it as an extra file here, or I'm keeping it open as a second file. Good. Returning to my artwork means now that I actually can already start triggering the drawing process. The drawing process will have three different stages. First of all, I will apply flat so-called base colors, the main colors of the illustration, and then I will subsequently add first the shadows and then some lights to make it even more vivid. I don't need to guess which base colors I'm going to use. I can actually have a look in my template layer. So I'm going to disable the background layer so that I have direct access through the background layer to my template layer, and then I'm using the color picker here, right? Set to all samples. Sample size I can set here. I take the lowest one, 3x3 average. And then let's try to pick a color which could serve us as a base color for the fox itself, a kind of orange. I think I got it already from here. Yeah, that looks like a pretty nice base color. And then I will turn on the background layer again. I will make sure that I'm working exclusively on my artwork layer, and then I'm switching to the brush, my nice diamond detailer, now set to the orange color I just chose, and then I'm going to apply some base color strokes here on the Firefox. So you would probably like to do the same. Use the pressure sensitivity of especially this tool, and you can build a nice structure. I'm using the rotate feature again. To apply there. And keep in mind, you can also see it from the small preview of the template layer, that the Firefox slightly is turning from orange into yellow. This is kind of resembling the flames. So I'm stopping here, and then I could use actually my airbrush to make this even more, the coloring even more smooth, right? So I'm applying some airbrush strokes now to this. Don't worry that you're painting over the shadowy regions. We are getting back to them soon. And then I'm going to create some strokes up here and probably also here. Now let's start with the shadows. You will need to use a special blend mode in order to create shadows instantly from the colors you have already applied from the base colors. So I'm going to pick the orange here because I'm going to integrate some orange shadows. Now check this out. I have still the airbrush, so I'm going to change to the diamond detailer again, and then I'm changing the brush mode from normal drawing to multiply. Multiply means that the color is multiplied now by itself, and this will result in a darker toning of this color. So watch me. You can see that this is working extremely fine. So right here I'm going to add a shadow right here, and here I'm back on the ear, and then I'm going to add some shadows here on the back of the fox of the diamond detailer. Right. So that's here, and probably some details. If I'm switching now over to the pencil and set the pencil also to multiply, then I'm able to add some really fine furry textures, sorry, to the fur, and then also accordingly here to the flames. Going to the diamond detailer again. Oh, not normal, multiplying. So the thing is that this is not kind of painting over black, because the color multiplied with black remains black. The lights are applied at with the same method, just that you set your brush mode not to multiply but to screen. And then I'm using an airbrush to work a bit on the oceans. Airbrush round, soft round tutorial, set to normal in order to make this here a bit more plain. I'm going to save this at the current state and integrating a snapshot as well, and then we can follow the development from opening the file, our first snapshot, and then the colored version of this Firefox logo. At this point I can delete my template layer, but first I have to unlock it, and then I can throw it away, because I only need my original artwork. Last thing which remains for me to do is to resize my logo here with the transform tool, Ctrl T. I'm going to select everything on this layer. I'm going to resize it so that I can add some more details. I will apply the transformation first, and then on a layer above, which I'm calling like frame, I will use the diamond detailer, then set to a grayish color. I'm set these to web colors so that I can choose better between the colors, and then I'm deciding on a tone. And then I'm taking the diamond detailer and adding a kind of frame around this logo. So it's just a doodle, keep this in mind. And lastly, I can take the pencil tool. Here we are. Now I have black. Yeah, this is more visible. Fiber. Fobs. Thanks for watching. I hope this was a kind of not only educational but inspiring experience for you, and well, now it's your turn. You have to doodle a logo. This would be your first assignment in this elective course. The instructions, specifications and requirements of your first assignment you will find in the according chapter of this first part of the elective course on our LMS. So please read the instructions of the assignment carefully, and I'm looking forward to see your results.